Right? Here also the same. So whenever we talk about slope, do we talk about only one kind of distance, or do we talk about two different types of distance? Right, very, very important. We need to consider both. We need to consider both. One, how much vertical distance you are covering, and another one, how much horizontal distance you are covering. Let's say that we cover vertical distance as y, horizontal distance as x. Okay? Y is vertical distance that you cover, and horizontal distance is x that you cover. Vertical distance is same. You cover the same vertical distance in both the pathways, right? Both the paths, both the trails. But what is different? Horizontal distance. In which case is the horizontal distance less? In which case, Baba, A or B? A. So therefore, and it looks like A is more slopey. So in order to be more slopey, what should happen?
The horizontal side line should be less.
Right. You cover less horizontal distance while covering the same amount of vertical distance. So this comparison should be there. You compare these two distances. You cover the same vertical distance and you check how much horizontal distance you are covering. If you are covering same amount of vertical distance, and if your vertical distance and your horizontal distance is smaller, that means you are traveling a more slopey path. Right? So if you take overall here, let's say here you see. All the way from, if you go all the way, you have gone from here, you have come here, right? And here. If it was only one step, this would be the step. You would go 5 meters upward, and how many meters this way? 2.5 meters this way. Right? If it was only one step. Here, if you had to go from here to there, in one step, what would you do? You would go all the way up, 5 meters up.
And here 5 meters.
5 meters this way, 5 meters. What's the difference?
The distance between original line.
The vertical distance is the same, but to cover the same vertical distance, what you are doing, you are covering more of horizontal distance. You are covering more of horizontal distance. So, if you have two lines, and if you want to understand the slope, you need to check to cover how much of vertical distance, how much of horizontal distance you have to cover. Okay? To cover the same amount of vertical distance, if you have to cover more of horizontal distance, to cover the same vertical distance, if you have to cover more of horizontal distance, that means it is
Less slopey.
less slopey. That means it is less slopey. But if you cover the same vertical distance with small amount of or less amount of horizontal distance, it is
More slopey.
more slopey. So these two distances are important. Whenever you are moving in a particular direction, you are crossing both horizontal and vertical distance. Right? So therefore, slope is the slope. Whenever we talk about slope, we always have to consider both the distances. Slope is vertical distance vertical distance divided by no, sorry, horizontal distance. Yes, you can say vertical distance by horizontal distance. You compare. And that is precisely what slope is. Slope equals to, we say y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So that is the thing about slope. Slope is comparison of the both distances that you are traveling. The horizontal and the vertical. Vertical and the horizontal. If you find their ratio, you find the slope of that particular path. Alright? You have to always understand this. How about this path? How about this path? If you take this path, straight upward, what you are doing? What are you doing here in this case, if you take this path?
Slope. Finding the slope.
How are you, how is it possible? How? You have to always talk about two distances, the vertical and the horizontal. How much vertical distance are you covering? How much horizontal distance are you covering?
5 meter vertical.
Just a second. Let me ask somebody. Cosmic. If you take this path, this middle path, let's say C. Tulsi. Pushpa. You have no idea what I'm asking you. In path B, you are covering 5 meters of horizontal distance while covering 5 meters of vertical distance. Similarly, path A, you are covering 5 meters of vertical distance while you are covering 2.5 meters of horizontal distance. What about this case? Case number C. What's happening? What zero? What zero? What's
Vertical distance is 5 meter.
right? You are covering vertical distance of 5 meters.
And horizontal is 0.
Zero. You are only going up. You are not going sideways. But you cover how much? 0. Horizontal. So slope. Slope equals to. We have to quantify it mathematically. We have to use mathematics to say how much slope is there. You cannot say, okay, this is more, this is less. To say more or less also, we need numbers to compare. So therefore, what do? How much you are covering the vertical distance? 5 meters. Horizontal? 5 divided by 0?
Infinity.
Undefined. Infinite.
Infinite.
That's the thing. Alright. Hopefully, concept of slope is a bit clear.